What is up, awesome peeps? Brent McCluskey here with Electrified Reviews, and today we are reviewing the EAHORA XC electric bike. This is a affordable electric bike. This is a good entry-level commuter, and of course we are doing a giveaway on this bike. We will break that down for you later here in the video, how to enter. We will dive into the specs, but first, let's roll the B-roll. All right, awesome peeps. Again, this is the EAHORA XC100 electric bike, a very affordable, entry-level kind of urban commuter electric bike right here. That $899 price tag from the company, man, you gotta love that. And yes, like we said in the intro here, we are doing a giveaway on this bike. All the details for how to win this bike will be in the written review in the description below. You'll have to visit Gleam. There's gonna be tons of ways to enter that. But yeah, look, some cool stuff about this bike is, first and foremost, for $899, yes, that is a fantastic deal. However, one of the cool things that's really surprising to see on this is that they have a 2-year warranty on the battery for this bike and a 5-month warranty on the parts. So 2 years on the battery is pretty long. Definitely more than we were expecting. I was figuring something maybe like 3 months, maybe 6 months for everything. So 2 years for the battery, very nice to see that. Also, there's a couple of different variations on this bike that you can get. This one is an XC100. It's got a like a grayscale LCD screen. We'll dive more into that later. It's a good screen, but if you want a color screen, they do have the XC100 Pro, which I think is the same exact bike as this, but it has a color screen. EAHORA also offers a bunch of different electric bikes. If this is not the style that you're looking for, we should be reviewing more here, but you can visit their website. They got a bunch of different stuff. So they've got some different colors. There's only one frame size, I believe, for this one, the XC100, but they do have some different color options. There's like this green accents, blue, red, some stuff like that. All the different colors are listed in the written review. But look, diving into the specs here, in the back, starting with the motor, we've got a 350 watt nominal hub motor here in the back with 500 watts of peak power, which brings this bike up to a top speed of 28 miles per hour with the cadence sensing pedal assist, or with a throttle here on the right hand side. So 28 miles per hour is definitely pretty fast for a 350 watt motor. I was kind of surprised to see that in the specs here. We did go ahead and test ride this a little bit before we started the review here, and I was able to get this bike up to about 25 miles per hour with just the throttle. I think the speedometer is a little off. I think it's a little bit saying it's a little bit faster than it actually is, but it's really the max speed probably is going to be around 24, 25 miles per hour once it's adjusted, and of course depending on rider weight and stuff like that. One interesting thing I want to point out here is that with the cadence sensing pedal assist and with the throttle, the output from the motor is different. So like, it feels like the throttle is more powerful. We've noticed this on a couple of different electric bikes here, that the throttle feels like it's unleashing the full power of the motor here, but whenever you start pedaling, the pedal assist, when it activates, it almost feels like it's like putting a limiter on the motor. I'm not sure if there's a way to change that in the settings or not, but I would definitely want to switch that, hopefully, so we can make it happen so that the pedal assist and the throttle is the same exact power output. Now for the pedal assist here, like I was saying, it is a cadence sensor. You can see it right there on the other side here. This is going to be a cadence sensing pedal assist. Now, like with all cadence sensors, this one does have a start and stop delay from the time that I start and stop pedaling to the time the motor actually activates and deactivates. So in other words, there's just kind of a latency here. And that's pretty common with cadence sensors. That's just the way they work, and that's definitely a component that we expect to see, on a bike at this price point, as opposed to a torque sensor. Now with the battery here, we've got a 36 volt system, 10.4 amp hour battery, and this thing is a locking battery. It is removable. You can have a key, to get it off of there. It does have a USB type A port right there on this side, which is beautiful because it means you can use this as a portable power bank, which is awesome. And this battery does also have that little quick indicator up here at the top, those little LEDs, so you can see kind of how much juice is left at a glance. So very cool stuff. Now, EAHORA is using what's called EPAS technology, and we have seen this now several times. And basically what the EPAS tech does is it collects excess kinetic energy from the motor whenever you are traveling above 14 miles per hour, or whenever you are on a long descent. It'll start collecting energy back from the motor, whoop, and feeding it back into the battery to help kind of extend your range some. And in the tests that we have done with this type of technology, the EPAS, IPAS, WPAS, whatever you want to call it, every company calls it something different, but it's basically the same thing. It does seem like it is actually adding some miles to the overall trip. So that's very, very cool. It does seem to help to actually extend the range as advertised. Now you'll notice here on this battery, I've got a little piece of tape to kind of secure the battery to the frame. This battery, this particular one, got a little bit damaged in transit and it's not locking to the frame here. So look, that kind of happens sometimes with these direct order bikes. You know, sometimes they get damaged in transit. Now this was actually my bike. What I would want to do is just ship it right back to the company and have them fix it for me, or have them ship me out the right part, because again, it does have that 5 months warranty on the parts. Of course, that would be something that was, you know, not really the company's fault, but I guess it's the shipping company's fault, but something that the company would definitely need to fix anyways. Now, here also in the back, we've got the derailleur. It's going to be a Shimano Tourney derailleur, 7-speed. And out of the box, I left it the way it was so I can show you guys. You can't really see it visually. You can only feel it here in the when you switch gears. But this derailleur does need to be adjusted a little bit. It's not switching gears. It's only going from like first to third gear, and it's not going any further. So if I wanted to, I can kind of tweak that here by adjusting the cable right here, kind of just working with the derailleur. And again, for entry-level bikes, you know, stuff that costs, you know, typically under $1,000, yeah, sometimes you gotta kind of tinker with some of this stuff to get it to work just right, and that's just kind of the name of the game. When you buy something for under $1,000, again, we're just going back to those entry-level components. They're not bad. They're just sometimes they require a little bit more attention to get them to work as intended. So something else is kind of cool though. Back here, you will see that this does have a steel derailleur cage over the derailleur, which is very nice. It's this piece right here. Just kind of helps protect the derailleur if this bike does fall over on the right-hand side. It helps this thing from getting crushed. So very cool stuff here. Also, we'll see this does have a plastic chainring guard right here, so it's not going to help protect the actual chainring teeth from strikes, but it will help keep this chain from popping off towards the outside. So if you do get a derailment, the chain is not going to fly off. It's going to actually just at least pop off towards the inside, so that's kind of nice here. In the front of the EAHORA XC100, this bike does come with front suspension here, maybe about, I don't know, 80 millimeters of travel or so. This is going to be a no-name, non-branded suspension here. They just got the EAHORA name on it. Spring suspension, but does a good job of just kind of smoothing out road noise. And if you're hopping off a curb or something like that, this is going to really come in handy. This is going to make the ride more enjoyable overall, but this is not a mountain bike by any stretch. This is definitely, you know, a commuter. It's just not really meant for serious off-road stuff here. You'll see it does also have a front headlight, which is nice. You know, this is a good headlight to increase visibility, to help other people see you. It's not really gonna help you to illuminate your path that much. So like we typically say, if you do want to ride this bike at night, we probably would recommend getting a aftermarket light, throwing it on your helmet, your handlebars, whatever, just something to throw out like at least 1,000 lumens onto the road, right? Also, this is one of the first bikes we've seen in a while that is not a fat tire bike, so very, very cool. Kind of getting back to basics here. These are kind of thinner tires, about 2 inches, I believe. And these are, yes, the tires are kind of knobby. They got little knobs on them here, but again, this is definitely, I just feel like this bike is kind of geared as a commuter bike, you know, for the city. Maybe one thing you could do if you wanted to upgrade this bike, if you could upgrade one thing on here, probably would be the tires, because these tires feel really, really thin. punctures would definitely be a concern of mine. If you were to swap out these tires, get something a little bit more beefy, maybe some puncture protection lining, you could probably take this on some more serious trails, not have to worry about goat heads or you know, sticks and stuff poking holes through the tires themselves. If you can't afford to swap out the tires, or if it's just too much hassle, you can also just throw slime inside of the tires here, and that is going to help reduce punctures, reduce leaks for really small stuff, again, like goat heads or like thistles, just little punctures. It's gonna seal that stuff right up like pretty much instantly. So that is one option you can do there. On the other side, we've got the braking system. We're gonna have mechanical disc brakes. Again, I believe these are no-name, non-branded components here. 160 millimeters for the rotors, front and rear, or rear and front, I suppose. Dual, well, I guess it's not dual piston actually, but yeah, mechanical disc brakes. The stopping power on this bike is actually, it's pretty good. It's not bad, and you know, look, mechanical disc brakes are not as good as hydraulic disc brakes, but again, $8.99 from the shop here, from EAHORA.com. So it's a low price point, and again, just got to reiterate, you're going to see mostly entry-level components. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that there are even disc brakes on here compared to just like V brakes or something. So in a sense, it's kind of an upgrade. Now, as far as the brakes go up here, there are motor inhibitors built in, which is nice. So whenever I depress the brake levers here, this wire right here will send a signal to the motor, and it's gonna instantly cut power to the motor when I hit those brakes, which is nice because, again, remember, there's latency with this cadence sensor. So having those motor inhibitors is going to help ensure that I have the shortest possible stopping distance, which is definitely something that you want here. Now, going up to the display, actually, let's go over here real quick. So for the Shimano Tourney derailleur, and we got a Shimano SIS Index thumb shifter here. And this is, again, entry-level component, not a big deal, but this is one other thing where if you were able to upgrade on your own one other piece of equipment here on this bike, maybe it would be the thumb shifter here. It's not a bad component, but if you do find yourself switching gears a lot, you might want something where a trigger shifter, like it's down here, right? Just easier to shift. Now, as far as the actual display goes, this is the XC100, not the XC100 Pro. So this is going to be the gray display, and it's very visible. It's very easy to see this display in broad daylight and direct sunlight. So very, very cool. I like that. Now up in the top left-hand corner here, you got the battery indicator, 5-bar battery indicator, 20% increments, current speed, pedal assist level, and then a couple other details right here are going to be the tripometer. You can switch here by, I think, tapping the, oh, come on, you can focus. It doesn't want to focus if there's the glare. There we go. You can tap the power button, or which one is it? One of the buttons here. There we go. No, that just turns it off. Okay, so to turn it on, it's a long press of the power button right here. And if you just press this power button once, it actually shuts it off. I think it's on this side right here. These are the buttons to kind of switch through the settings here. So let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, so that's turns the lights. The bottom button turns the lights on and off. Okay, and the top button is going to switch from odometer to, let's see, max speed, average speed, amp hours, and tripometer. So that's how you kind of navigate the display there. And if you do want, for some reason, a color display, you can get that with the XC100 Pro. I don't know how much more it is, but really, I mean, you probably don't really need it unless just for some reason you really, really like color displays. Something else I do want to mention is that the wire management here is they've done a fair job here of trying to get all these wires to behave. They've got them pretty nicely wrapped. Definitely props for that. They are internally routed. They do feed into the down tube here, and they go all the way down, spit out at the bottom bracket, and then go back to the motor there. This little piece is kind of not really in position, but that happens a lot with these. They just kind of come off. You just have to, again, just kind of finesse it back into place, maybe get some silicone and adhesive or something if you want to get it to stick. But yeah, awesome peeps, that's pretty much it here for the EAHORA XC100. Pretty sweet little ride. I really like that it is such an affordable price point. It's really cool to see more and more companies starting to offer electric bikes at a much more reasonable price point for people who are just looking to maybe get into electric bikes, right? But maybe again, like you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a bike yet. You just want to kind of test it out, or maybe you just can't afford that much. You can still use this as a commuter. You can get to work, you can go to the grocery store, do what you need to do with it, but for only $8.99, or if you do want to buy from Amazon, it's $100 less. So, oh, and they also offer free shipping, by the way, which is really, really cool. So there's no hidden shipping fees. That's included in the price. There's no hidden fees for like the warranty. It's all included. So really you're just paying for the bike itself. And like when you check out, that's like, we actually went through the process. We clicked it, we went to the checkout, did shipping, and then, the total price was just $8.99 plus tax. So, all right, I think what we need to do now is take this beauty for a test ride. So here we go. right, awesome peeps, that is pretty much it for the review of the XC100 electric bike from EAHORA. In summary, again, this thing starts for $899 from the company, or $800, or I think $799 if you want to buy it off of Amazon.com. So pretty affordable entry-level electric bike here. Easy on the wallet. That's one of the greatest things about this bike right here. Yes, a lot of the components here are going to be pretty entry level, kind of just starting out, but that's what this bike is really geared for. It's kind of like, this is a good choice, I think, for people who maybe are just starting to get into the electric bike world. Maybe this is your first time you've bought an electric bike and you just want to try it out before you spend, $3,000, $4,000, or however much, some of these higher electric bikes go for. And really, this thing is going to do 90% of what those bikes can do as well. It's got the pretty good size 10.4 amp hour battery, like we talked about, that EPAS technology to help extend the range, the efficient 350 watt motor. It does have front suspension and a headlight. I mean, it's going to do pretty much everything you want it to. So look, awesome peeps. First of all, good luck in this giveaway. Best of luck to all of you guys. If you do want to enter the giveaway, that will be hosted on Gleam. There's gonna be tons of ways to enter that. You can like this video, you can comment on it, you can visit us on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, all that cool stuff. We'll leave all the different ways to enter on gleam.com or gleam.io, whatever it is, but we'll go ahead and leave the link to that in our written review in the description down below. So very good luck on that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will catch you next time.